Hi everybody, welcome back to another tutorial video. Today we're going to be using our tiny art drawing kit to create some truly unique pieces. So let's dive right in. Let's start with unboxing our materials. In this kit you'll find 5 pairs of pre-cut earring shapes, perfect for practicing and getting familiar with the materials. You'll also find a jewellery finding bag. We've also packed in a basic toolkit with a pair of pliers, some glue and a hand drill. There are 4 acrylic pens for doodling and 5 acrylic studs to top off your earrings. Our main material for today is 10 sheets of vibrant, transparent Shrinky Dink paper. We've also included a pattern paper sheet to trace and get an idea of how it works. If you've opted for the UV resin set, you'll find a 25-gram tube of UV resin, an LED UV light and a silicone mat and brush. Now we're ready to start making. I'll start with the pre-cut cloud-shaped Shrinky Dink, doodling some checkerboard patterns and flowers on it. Now you might be wondering which side to draw on. Well, with acrylic paint you can draw on either side, but the results will differ. We'll show you how in just a bit. Once you're happy with your drawing, remember to punch a hole before the shrinking stage. This can save you some drilling time later, but if you forget, no need to worry. Ready to witness some magic? When you heat Shrinky Dinks, they shrink to about half their size, harden up like plastic, and the colours intensify. You might be surprised by how small they get, which is why we pre-cut the shapes for you. Now there are 2 ways to shrink your work. The easiest method is using your oven. Just remember to place baking paper underneath to prevent sticking. Set the temperature to around 160 to 180 degrees Celsius and watch as your art shrinks. The other way is using a heat gun, which we'll demonstrate later in this video. When you take your piece out of the oven, press it flat with a heavy book or any flat surface while it's still hot. Here's the results of the cloud shapes. Drawing on the glossy side makes the colours pop more, but if you prefer a subtler effect, go for the matte side. If you're using watercolour or coloured pencils, the matte side is your best bet. Let's get creative. You can make some curved shapes with Shrinky Dinks too. Just lower the oven temperature and pull out your pieces when they start to shrink, but before they're fully shrunken. Skip the book press and you'll have some cute curved pieces. Now we move on to the UV resin. The shrunken pieces might look a bit raw, which is where the UV resin comes in. It'll give your pieces a glossy, fuller finish, just like the jewellery you see in stores. But remember, this is all about personal preference, so if you like the raw finish, skip this step. First, pop on some gloves to keep the resin off your fingers. Place your pieces on the silicone mat and add a few drops of UV resin and spread it evenly with the silicone brush. Cure it under the LED light for about 1 to 2 minutes. If you're unsure whether it's ready, just touch the edges. If it's not sticky, it's good to go. Once you've got the hang of this, you can let your creativity run wild. Start designing and cutting out your own shapes from the blank sheet provided in your kit. Now let's try the second shrinking method we mentioned earlier, using the heat gun. Simply pop your pieces in a mug, I'm using an IKEA one, and heat it up for about a minute. You'll see it start to shrink like crumpled paper. When it starts to expand, that's your cue that it'll be ready soon. Tip it out carefully and use a heavy book to flatten it. The final step is connecting your pieces. If you've forgotten to punch holes in some pieces, don't worry. You can always use a hand drill provided, or if you prefer, an electric one like I do. For detailed instructions on drilling, connecting and gluing your pieces, check out our other video down below. It's got everything you need. For glue, you can use the E6000 jewellery glue or UV resin. Keep in mind the jewellery glue takes a bit longer to set, but both options will provide a strong bond once set. And now the moment you've been waiting for. Time to show off your unique creations. We've included a few backing cards in the kit. You can pop your earrings or hair clips onto these cards and give them to your loved ones, or maybe keep them for yourself. Thanks for tuning in to this tutorial. We can't wait to see you for the next one.